Dealings of the traffic or anything like that, but maybe if I'm up in Delhi Park, I'll be able to hand out some paperwork of people that pull over, or maybe someone that does what John did on the God Bless the Homeless Vet sign, and you know, I can hand out paper to someone like that if they were to approach me when I'm holding this sign. I'm walking up and down the street. Delhi government. So there's Allison Landscaping. I forget what the 922, I forget. The guy from Allison Landscaping says if Delhi sucks, then leave. I was pointing out that Delhi government sucks, not Delhi township. And so that's one man's opinion. And here's my attitude toward that one man's opinion. First and foremost, sir, if you're listening, or anyone that cares to hear, I don't agree with what you said. I understand the context, I understand it to an extent, but I don't agree with it in this particular situation. But I will stand by your side and your right to say that. And I stand by your side of freedom of association to you voluntarily associated with me. I have no ill will toward you. That's how I interpret what just happened. And where do I go? Now, if this guy was educated, in my opinion, specifically, I'm not saying overall, if this guy was specifically educated and what's going on in this country, the importance of freedom of speech, and the evidence that I have that I think shows that it's also a problem in Delhi, then, you know, maybe he would have more of an open mind, or even a difference of opinion possibly. But if you're going to make a judgment like that, someone that says ask me about it, and you're not going to ask him about it, you're just going to, you know, kind of kick them out or suggest that they just leave a place they grew up in. Now, he don't know that, but that's a fact. I grew up here, a place I lived here, where I lived 90% of my life, where my parents helped to start to some extent. Now, they weren't here from the very beginning, but they were here in their lives as well. The house that was built was only owned by them until they passed away. So I have roots here, and what that guy's telling me, the way I interpret that, and I don't think he's necessarily saying it because we don't have all the data, but if he stands by that with all the data, then in my opinion, he's saying, hey, if you see tyrants in your government, in your local community, then you should just leave. You shouldn't try and address it. You shouldn't try to, you know, hold a sign and have freedom of speech and try and get an open dialogue in the public forum. And hey, guy, if you're out there and listening, and Skylar told me he'd be sending me digital copies for their business cards. Crickets. Yes, I'd say with the wind, maybe similar as earlier, more consistent. Oh, it's a little heavier now. I just felt a heavy one. But the chill is a little bit colder, I'll say. I think it's dropped a little bit in temperature. I'm not sure. If I guessed, I'd say maybe peaks around 2 p.m. Might be earlier than that. I'm just taking a guess. And this box catches the wind really well, so I gotta be really careful, or this box is gonna fly out and assault a car or something. So I'm still recording. If I wasn't recording, I'd still be talking to myself. Maybe not out loud. Okay, guys, we're up here in Delhi again. I put on a little nicer jacket. I don't know why. And I had to upgrade my sign because the other one, the chalk kind of came off. So that's what this one looks like. It says, in my humble opinion, IMHO, Delhi government sucks. Ask me why. Now, I'm expecting a Similar reaction as before, although we may get a little more traffic at this time. Being 5 p.m., people coming home from work, what have you. I'm buckling it up. It's still windy. It's still quite a bit cold. Not really, probably, but I'm gonna guess it's in the 40s. Let's give it another month or two here in Delhi, Ohio. In the 40s, it's gonna be looking like the warm weather. So part of this coldness is, frankly, just not being used to being out in the cold. So we're coming back to the central part of Delhi, and I'm probably not going to do a bunch of recording unless I get some kind of interaction or something. I will say really quickly that they said they'd get back to me today. I don't think I've heard from them in voicemail or anywhere. They said trustees told me roughly a month ago, I think, that they get back to me. Someone will get back to you. I haven't heard anything from any of them. It's at that same time that Skylar told me he'd be sending me digital copies for their business cards. Crickets. Yeah, so I'd say with the wind, maybe similar as earlier, more consistent. Oh, it's a little heavier now. I just felt a heavy one. But the chill is a little bit colder, I'll say. I think it's dropped a little bit in temperature. I'm not sure. If I guessed, I'd say maybe peaks around 2 p.m. Might be earlier than that. I'm just taking a guess. And this box catches the wind really well, so I gotta be really careful, or this box is gonna fly out and assault a car or something. So I'm still recording. If I wasn't recording, I'd still be talking to myself. Maybe not out loud. So I see the real traffic is really all the way down where the trustees would normally hold their signs. That would probably make sense. Since that's where all the traffic is. We'll probably head down there at some point. I'm sure we'll make our way down there. This box really catches the wind. It's a big box, so it catches it when I'm facing this way. It may help block it when I face the other way. But we just want to get the message out there and say, hey, I'm open to a conversation that anyone wants to have, or a debate. I'm willing to debate it as well about why government in Delhi sucks. And I would say, if I was to make a benchmark, what do they suck compared to all other governments? Do they suck just because they're a government? No, they suck because of the violations, the trespass, the not fulfilling the records request for trying to get me on something. They suck because I'm a small government guy and they get really excited when they double their assets. They seem to be big government people. And for many more reasons, I think they suck. And I would say that's going to be compared to the years and the decades prior to our current township administrator, Skylar Miller. And I look at Jack Cameron and say, hey, compared to that government where Jack was the leader, trustees aside, the board aside, that was a that Delhi government currently sucks compared to the Jack Cameron years. That's what I'm saying. Now, I was never for these buildings up here. I'm not a big proponent of government getting in bed with the private sector, generally speaking. and certainly not getting into the apartment complex business, with some exceptions. And I would say the Delhi situation isn't one where I want to be paying for their land so they can build on land that I pay for with tax dollars, but that really for me benefits me nothing. For me, it's harmful. What's it do for me? More traffic, bigger government, less power to the people, less power to the individual. So from what I remember, it's actually the benefits to working out in the cold. But I'd have to look those up again to see what that's all about. All right, got Subway on the left, the vape shop. I think there's what, at least two vape shops in Delhi. Got Domino's Pizza. I like their thin crust. I like their sausage. The ingredients are quality. They don't put as many on as some other places, but they're quality ingredients, that's my opinion. Delhi nails. Okay, next time I come out, I'm definitely bringing gloves. So all the haters out there, this is your time to laugh at me. Definitely would be a good time to add insult to injury. Kick me while I'm down. But I am passionate about the cause. I do believe that it's a serious issue nationally and now in Delhi. And I'm now in the Delhi town square. I think part of the reason that I wore this jacket instead of the other jacket, and I gotta tell you, I still got jeans on with paint on my jeans, but I think some of the reason was just experiment, just to see what, if it was like I get a different reaction kind of thing. That was part of my thought anyway. So, you know, John opened up that dialogue with me when I had the God Bless the Homeless Vet sign. I think there's going to be someone in the Delhi area, sooner or later, they're going to see me, at least one person other than my buddy that already saw me, and he's going to come over and talk with me. But there's going to be some stranger in Delhi I don't know that's going to have a similar interest as I do, and it's going to come up and say, hey, I'm asking, because I got on my sign, ask me why I think this. So somebody's going to come up and say, hey, I'm asking, and I'd like to know. Someone looks like they may be trying to read it, but maybe can't read it, so I get a little closer in hopes that they can read it. And then what I think I'll do in the future as well, and I'll have to look up the legalities of it, but I think I'll get me some paperwork that I'll be able to hand out, and nothing that would interrupt the dealings of the traffic or anything like that. But maybe if I'm up in Delhi Park, I'll be able to hand out some paperwork of people that pull over, or maybe someone that does what John did on the God Bless the Homeless Vet sign, and you know, I can hand out paper to someone like that if they were to approach me when I'm holding this sign. I'm walking up and down the street. Delhi government. So there's Allison Landscaping. I forget what the 922, I forget. The guy from Allison Landscaping says if Delhi sucks, then leave. I was pointing out that Delhi government sucks. not Delhi Township. And so that's one man's opinion, and here's my attitude toward that one man's opinion. First and foremost, sir, if you're listening, or anyone that cares to hear, I don't agree with what you said. I understand the context, I understand it to an extent, but I don't agree with it in this particular situation. But I will stand by your side and your right to say that. And I stand by your side of freedom of association to you voluntarily associated with me. I have no ill will toward you. That's how I interpret what just happened. And where do I go? Now, if this guy was educated, in my opinion, specifically, I'm not saying overall, if this guy was specifically educated and what's going on in this country, the importance of freedom of speech, and the evidence that I have that I think shows that it's also a problem in Delhi, then, you know, maybe he would have more of an open mind, or even a difference of opinion possibly. But if you're going to make a judgment like that, someone that says, ask me about it, and you're not going to ask him about it, you're just going to, you know, kind of kick them out or suggest that they just leave a place they grew up in. Now, he don't know that, but that's a fact. I grew up here, a place I lived here, where I lived 90% of my life, where my parents helped to start to some extent. Now, they weren't here from the very beginning, but they were here in their lives as well. The house that was built was only owned by them until they passed away. So I have roots here, and what that guy's telling me, the way I interpret that, and I don't think he's necessarily saying it because we don't have all the data, but if he stands by that with all the data, then in my opinion, he's saying, hey, if you see tyrants in your government, in your local community, then you should just leave. You shouldn't try and address it. You shouldn't try to, you know, hold a sign and have freedom of speech and try and get an open dialogue in the public forum. And hey, guy, if you're out there and listening and you have conviction about what you just told me that I should leave, I invite you to come on my YouTube channel. Let's have a discussion. If you want to debate, let's have a debate. Let's have an open dialogue. And maybe you'll change my mind, right? Maybe I'll look and I'll say, that's some compelling evidence, guy. You know? But if you're not going to even look at the data or open your mind to the other side of the differing opinion, then do you have room for improvement? That is my question. And do you think we would have lost the First Amendment rights that we've lost? I'm talking about as a country, not as me individually. Do you think we would have lost all those rights if more people were doing what I'm doing right now? This cost me nothing. This cost me $2 for a piece of chalk. That's all this cost me. So I imagine that probably didn't pick up on the mic, but I think the guy yelled, leave. He was from Allison Landscaping. It's a local that used to be based in Delhi. I think they moved down to River Road now. I think I said, what? Something like that. I have to go back and listen. And then I think he said, if Delhi sucks, then leave. You can just leave. And I said, not Delhi sucks, Delhi government sucks. And I'll give it to him. The government is written kind of small. That was just a space issue. But, you know, maybe we're make another sign, make that government bigger, since, you know, I can learn from that experience. Even though I don't agree with what he said in the context of where I am, I'm glad he's in a country where he was able to express that to me. Freedom of speech, that was, in my opinion, I'm not 100% sure, but I would call that a freedom of association. Him and I associated with each other voluntarily, even if it was for, what, 10 seconds. And now I don't know about that guy in particular, but I'm saying it's possible I run into somebody that's, you know, a hothead or something, and that gets out and throws something at me or something. And so that, you know, that alone dictates a need to audio video record. And I think that is the best evidence we have, the best data. So, you know, if this guy wanted to debate me and I said, hey, government sucks, and he says, nah, our government's great. And I say, well, then why am I treated like crap? And he says, you're not treated like crap. And I show him the audio video recording and say, look, I filed a complaint and they didn't even investigate it based on what they, the feedback I got from them. And he says, that didn't happen, you know, in the hypothetical, and I can show the video recording of it actually, you know, that kind of thing happening. So that's why we audio video record. We know it saves some people from jail time. That's a matter of fact. And I'll be, yep, so that's where we are right now. Allison Landscaping on River Road, Cincinnati, Ohio. He wanted to speak his opinion while driving a truck from Allison Landscaping. I have no affiliation currently with any business other than my own, I think it's an S Corp. There you go. Thank you, appreciate it. Hi. So I think I've been today on nothing except publicly accessible property. I don't think I've been on any private property in this trip right here. I'll go ahead and cross here, and we'll go down to the next one. We have a guy that's at least willing to read the sign. Appreciate you, sir. That guy actually gave me the impression he was going to pull over for a minute, but saw I was crossing the street. I don't know, this is just what I got the impression of. Looked like he's going to pull over and saw us crossing the street, so he had to continue going straight for a sec. And then I thought he did some kind of hand motion and just decided to drive on. But I'm not sure that's the case. If he would have stopped, I think that would have been our first conversation. So I'm gonna hold this sign out here a little bit. Probably don't help to hold it going forward. All the cars are coming to me from behind. Now, I imagine somewhere out there, right? Somewhere out there in one of these cars is someone from the rival township, right? The rival school. Like in Delhi, there's Delhi Junior High. So maybe, I don't know if this is true or not, but like the rival school might be Bridgetown Junior High. Somewhere out there is maybe an 8th grader, when they drive by with their parents, looks at me and says, reads Delhi sucks or Delhi government sucks, and says, oh, that's one of them Bridgetown parents. I'm just saying. That would be funny. Like I've said in some prior posts, I'm a pretty good brainstormer. I'm fairly creative. So now that I'm moving, I'm feeling a little better warmth-wise. Still windy, still cold. Probably not as windy. It calmed down a little bit because I'm able to hold this box one-handed. Now, I will say that guy in the Allison Landscaping truck, I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying that he was threatening. He was yelling, but that's expected because he was 3 lanes over, so he almost had to yell for me to hear him. But it just reminded me that, hey, there are violent nutcases out here, right? And there may be someone that takes such great offense to this, and they really shouldn't. That would be unreasonable. That wouldn't make sense to me. but I'm a brainstormer. I could say it's in the possibility, right? Kind of like Lieutenant Fireman said. I didn't see anything's possible, right? So certainly somebody could be jumping out to commit violence upon me. I would never expect that in Delhi, to be honest. Well, I would never expect that in most parts of Delhi. Even on the Pike up here late at night. Personally myself, I would feel safe walking it. But if I was married and had a wife and she was walking up here alone, I would probably not feel comfortable. And that would go for a daughter or a son that's young. Just because you get the drunks come out at night, right? The nutcases. You don't even have to be malicious. Just one of them drunks that goes over the sidewalk. And I lost a loved one to a drinking and driving incident myself. So there's plenty of them out there. Okay, so what looks like happened, and when you call this my own paranoia, what looks like happened is I just walked a decent amount to get from way up there where there's a bunch of traffic to way down here where there was a bunch of traffic. So, so I don't know if I just chased the traffic away, or if maybe it's just waiting to come back till I get down there, right? It's just waiting for me. I'm bringing the traffic with me. I'm bringing the party. No partying on Delhi Pike. All right, I'm bringing the traffic. Wonder what the blue line and the red means. I think the blue line said no red lines beyond the blue line, and the red line was saying no blue lines beyond this red line. I know one person, if they saw me, they would immediately stop. Actually, I know a few people, if they saw me, I'm pretty sure they'd be stopping. What are you doing, man? Let me tell you my story. Or for some folks, let me tell you my story again. So yeah, I'm new on posting on YouTube. I got my first copyright notice. Copyright notice for, it's actually when I was up at the Delhi Town Center area in general, an apartment area. They had Joe Walsh playing on the speaker. I guess my camera picked it up and got a copyright infringement. It's pretty easy to remove that with the software I have, so you know, it's just a cool little learning curve I went through. We should get more traffic on this side of the road than the other side. It don't look that way right now, but my philosophy is people are coming home from work. Maybe they go home, pick up the family, and then come right back out and come right back out and go get something to eat. So, you know, is this sign, is the other sign I had more subtle than this one? Certainly. It's more subtle in size, and maybe because government's written smaller on this sign, it makes this sign a little bit more offensive to some people, maybe. So, you know, maybe I'm not winning hearts and minds with this one, but maybe I am. Maybe the hearts and minds aren't winning me also. But I see someone like John, that interaction I had the other day, or the black guy, or the white woman, the young black guy, the older white woman. You know, those folks are inspirational in those moments. I don't know them in their normal life, but in that moment, I think there were hearts and minds that at least were touched. I think it was, I would just guess that it probably meant something for John to tell that story, even if I'm just a stranger, one guy, and what I post on some YouTube channel. I think it probably was a heartening thing, a good thing for him to tell me that story. It was good for me. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better now in terms of the temperature. It's still cool, but as long as I walk, I think I'm good. I might be interested to see if anybody's actually calling the police on me. If there's people in Delhi that, on the citizen side, that want to try to stop free speech by calling the police. I sure hope not, but it'd be interesting to find out if they've received calls, how many. So, you know, I've heard the same thing about the country. Hey, if you don't love this country, just leave. You know, some of the Hollywood people said they were going to leave if Trump got elected. You know, I was born, in essence, in Delhi. I mean, I was born in a hospital outside of Delhi while my parents resided in Delhi. So in that context, you know, I was born in Delhi. I went to grade school here, kindergarten, I think, high school, Oak Hills High School. We have a police officer right here pulling into a closed parking lot. So if he's coming to talk to me, I'll make it easy on him. And I'll just wait right here. If he's not, then I'll just keep walking. So I'm not trying to go in that private section. So he just did a little pull around. Maybe he wants me to walk up there to talk to him. I honestly don't know if I want to go over and talk to him or not and initiate a conversation. Normally I would. I like to get to know him and be friendly. I'll tell you right now, if he's a Jan guy, then I do want to meet him again, because I remembered his name, and I remember he's from Germany now, and so there's a little background there. And in my circle, I remembered your name and where you're from. You've got standing, you know what I mean? That would be standing. And so we're going to show the officer this, maybe just get confirmation that we're legal. We're just to see who it is. We'll say hi. First thing we're going to do, though, before we do anything else, is we're just going to say, hey, you busy? Because I don't want to interrupt him if he's busy. And you know, maybe I'll just hold the sign and let him initiate the conversation if he wants to. This guy looks familiar. I think this guy's the guy that maybe got the counseling when I was up at... No, I'm sorry, that's not this guy. I met this guy just not long ago, so I'm gonna just leave him alone. He looks like he's hitting on that computer pretty good, and he didn't initiate contact with me, so I'm not gonna try and push the issue or anything. How you doing? Look at this. You got this guy over here running around in shorts, and I'm complaining about the cold. Now, if you get moving, cold ain't even a problem. That's what I was told when I was learning martial arts, is that, hey, we used to actually practice out in the cold weather. It'd be like, you know, snow on the ground, ice on the ground, whatever. It was the cold, you know, mid of winter, and we were out there in our bare feet. And the key was, that ain't what gets you sick. As long as you keep moving, you can be out in the cold like that. But as soon as you stop moving, boom, change your clothes, number one, and then shower as soon as possible, and clean clothes, and that's what'll keep you from getting sick. But if you get all sweaty and stuff out in the cold, and then you keep the clothes on and stay sweaty, That's what'll get you sick, or give you a better chance of getting sick. So we'll just keep going down this way, just simply because I got the momentum. And I think I do want to change this sign. I'm gonna make that government bigger. I don't want people thinking Delhi sucks, other than within the context of where it does suck. Most places are gonna have something that sucks. And for me in Delhi, right now, it's a town administrator. It's the big government mentality. It's the expand and get bigger and growth. It's their intolerance to our basic rights. How you doing? I'll tell you that if I think that guy gave a laugh. I appreciate that feedback. Not really the feedback I want, but it made me laugh. So yeah, if I'm doing this every day, man, I'm gonna be fit by next spring. I actually do like hiking in the wintertime. One of the things I was gonna do today or this week is I'm gonna make a video of the most gorgeous place in Delhi. If I post this video and there's anyone out there from Delhi and you want to guess where that is, put it in the comments. The most gorgeous place in Delhi. And I'm gonna make a video recording of that. It's a place where me and my friends used to go as kids, and then continue to go with other people and some of the same people as adults as well. So I don't know, does the park close at dusk or dawn? I wonder if that police officer knows off the top of his head what time the park closes. Because I'd like to make sure I get my car out of there before I get it towed or something like that. I think technically sunset is right around 5:30 somewhere. Okay, so we got stop traffic. Let's make sure we hit it here. I wonder if the guy from Allison Landscaping, because he didn't seem happy about the sign I had. That'd be my interpretation. Yeah, actually, I would describe him as irate. He seemed irate, but I don't have any problem with that as long as he's not physically coming at me or anything. But I wonder if he's seen any of the videos I put out, and maybe just he disagrees with the videos as well. Maybe he's in the circle of some of these Delhi government employees. It's hard to say, but man, I want to call Delhi and ask him what time the park closes, but look at this car over here with the hubs, the lights. I don't know if people like that or not. It's not my kind of thing, but I think it's cool looking on other people's cars. So yeah, all the traffic is down there. I could maybe move my car into another parking lot, I'll say. How you doing? Yeah, this box is actually awesome because it's got this little handle on it. It's challenging when the wind's going, but when the wind's not going, this box is awesome. So for strength, right? For strength, I think you want to do lightweight, high rep For bulk or for, what is it? For definition, you want to do the cardio as well, depending on what we're talking about. And then you want to do heavy weights, fewer reps. So that Anatoly guy, I don't know if anyone's ever seen or know about that guy. I think he's like, what do they call that, powerlifting champion of the world. He goes in the gym sometimes acting like he's sweeping up, and then he lifts incredible amounts of weight and he looks like he's a little small guy. But sometimes he pulls out the rubber band exercise thing. You know, you hook the rubber band, the big rubber band, to your foot, to your arm, because it's easy to do. And that's where the strength comes from. Lightweight, high reps. But that's coming from a fat guy out of shape, so take it for a grain of salt. Or if you don't, you can give me that piece of salt. I'll add it to a piece of food and enjoy it that much more. So I'm just like noticing, because you know, once it's like the car, right? Like the Chevrolet truck right here, this Colorado. You never notice them on the road until you buy one, and then they're everywhere. You know what I mean? Has anyone ever had that experience? And so this is across from the Big Hill area again. And what do we got? Trash. There's trash up there. Trash over here. There's trash over there. Whoa, what's this? I'll give you three guesses. Trash, and trash. Trash. I'm saying it for every piece of trash I see. There's all kinds of trash around here. Delhi, the trash capital of the world. I mean, is this normal? Look at this. That looks like it's a breeder bull from Chipotle that's way down the road. I don't know, is this normal? You all tell me. And more importantly, was this here yesterday, last week, last month? Is it going to be there tomorrow, next week, next month? I don't know. I'm just rambling and tambling. How you doing? So everything I had planned today is getting bumped to tomorrow. Plus I got somebody coming over tomorrow. All right, we're almost full circle. We're gonna stop recording. We're gonna relocate. And maybe come back out.
Allison Landscaping.
Hi, are you located down on River Road?
Yes, we are.
I left a message, I think it might have been on Saturday, to have a manager or owner call me back.
Okay.
I found out it's actually the owner that I want to speak with.
Okay, what's your name? Was it Rich or something?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, and what is it regarding Rich?
I'd like to offer him respectfully and peacefully a public debate on what he said up at Delhi Pike with regard to the sign that I was holding. I was the individual on Delhi Pike that said, in my humble opinion, Delhi government sucks. And I'd like to just debate him on that. If he thinks that Delhi government is great, I'd just like to have a public debate and let the public make a decision and just be more informed about what's going on in our local community. I don't think he has the data, and I don't have anything personal against him in any way, shape, or form. I just don't think he has the data to make an informed decision. I'd just like to know.
Okay. All right, so I'll have to find out, possibly Todd, I'm not sure. What's your phone number, Rich?
It's the one that drives the white truck with, I think it's a two-door white truck, says Allison Landscaping on the side, might be an F1500 or 150 or something.
Okay. And what's your phone number, and I'll have to do some some research and let them know.
I appreciate that, and then I also just wanted to say, you know, if I see them out, I'll wave to them and say hi, but I won't keep calling back. So if I don't hear from you all, I won't call you back anymore.
Okay, well, that was nice of you to mention that, so he's not stressed out.
Yeah, I have no ill will against him. I just think maybe we have a disagreement of opinion, or maybe it was just in the heat of the moment. But
Okay.
I'm trying to get the message out about what I'm experiencing in Delhi and what a Delhi employee said about the corruption in Delhi. Not my words,
Yikes.
but what a Delhi employee said.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. You're very sweet.
Thank you for calling. All right, no problem. Anytime.
Bye-bye.